Have you felt a deep warmth, like a gentle, unseen presence was comforting you? Maybe you found a white feather on your car seat, desk, or in a favorite book. What happens when an unexplained high-pitched ringing or flash of light appears? These aren't accidents. These are believed to be indications from celestial creatures to guide, protect, and reassure us. Think of a magnificent tapestry weaved by the universe, where every thread is a little prod to pay attention to the indications around you. These simple yet powerful symbols have deep meanings for you, from vivid visions full of meaning to coins in odd places. Consider that gentle touches and beams of light may have deeper meanings than you realize. This video will discuss the 7 most common angel indications and what they mean for you. Will you decipher the universe's divine messages? Start this journey together. In a quiet town, nestled in an old forest, lived Emily, a young woman. In that charming village, time seemed to linger, drinking in every moment. The air was scented with pine and dirt, and the rustling leaves whispered secrets only the wind knew. In Emily's childhood place, beautiful trees reached for the heavens and weaved a divine canopy that protected her. She was admired in town for her insatiable curiosity and generous nature. A young woman named Emily lived in a small town where many took comfort in the familiar. She was restless, wanting to discover the wonders beyond the horizon and her daily life. On a lovely fall afternoon, with the sun shining through the vivid tapestry of red and orange leaves, Emily felt compelled to take one of her long, solitary walks in the woods. In her wanderings, she found a hallowed space where the everyday receded and her thoughts could soar. A remarkable sight caught her attention that fateful day. An object half hidden at the foot of an ancient oak tree rested among the fallen leaves. It seemed to belong to another time and story. The old wood looked like nothing, but as she knelt and gently wiped away the debris, she was amazed. An antique leather-bound diary held mysteries beneath the layers of time. A marvel, the journal was unlike anything she had seen before. Its broken, torn cover was a testament to years spent outdoors. The pages were worn and tattered, and the once pure white paper had become a mellow yellow, a tribute to the stories inside. Its old and battered appearance belied its attractiveness, which captivated and moved. Not only did it feel heavy in her hand, but it held the echoes of stories waiting to be told. Emily became more astonished as she read. Handwritten notes, doodles, and symbols seemed to transcend reality. The symbols ranged from stars and heavenly patterns to complicated, unfathomable designs. Fragments of text in an elegant, flowing script showed the author's heart and energy in every syllable. Emily found a chilling note in the journal's first pages. The words were simple, yet profound. For those who seek guidance, look beyond what you see. Which author wrote this? The term, look beyond. What wisdom? Emily's mind was limitless. Maybe this map leads to hidden treasures. Could it be an individual's spiritual journey? Is it a story of encounters with unknown powers? Or is it something much more mysterious? Emily sat on the woodland floor with the breeze on her cheeks and knew the journal's discovery was exquisite. The timing, the location, and the way the journal seemed to call her felt too intentional to be a coincidence. Her pulse increased, tingling with excitement and uneasiness. Imagine if this journal revealed answers to questions she had yet to ask. Could it unveil realms beyond her imagination? As dusk neared, the sun gracefully dropped below the horizon, producing an amber and lavender hue. Emily returned home with the journal in hand. She sat in her favorite chair as the hearth fire cast dancing shadows on the walls as she lit it. After taking a deep breath, she opened the journal again to discover its mysteries. She didn't realize that this news would change her life forever. She encountered a portal to the unusual, a voyage that would challenge her beliefs about the world and herself. Emily was a young woman living in a quiet town surrounded by whispering forests. Her gentleness and curiosity were admired. She stumbled upon an old journal with secrets concealed beneath a tapestry of fallen leaves as she went through the verdant woodland. Time had cracked and worn the cover, while the yellowed pages whispered old stories. Emily grabbed it out of curiosity and took it home. She didn't realize that this news would change her life forever. Emily opened the journal carefully that evening by the fireplace. It was alive, surprising her. There were handwritten notes, detailed sketches, and mysterious symbols she didn't comprehend. Emily encountered a warning at the start of her journey. For those who seek wisdom, gaze beyond the surface. Intrigued but confused, she turned the pages eagerly. Her experiences were woven with feathers, bright lights, and strange moods. It seems the scribe was trying to capture divine essence. The entries were detailed and artistic. Celestial creatures used signs, delicate, loving gestures to comfort and instruct. Another reported feeling a strange warmth or ringing in their ears. These events were not random, the narrator said. These whispers were from individuals who loved deeply, but disguised it. From entry to entry, a vast tapestry of wonder and mystery unfolded. Emily had a deep connection with the journal as she read it. The author seemed to know her questions, concerns, and fears. One entry touched Emily. When you discover a feather in an unexpected place, take a moment to pause and reflect. It is not merely a feather. It embodies love, protection, and a divine presence. Emily imagined encountering such a sign. She remembered overlooking her own journey's strange coincidences. Didn't she find a pure white feather on her car's windscreen after a hard day? She thought it was luck at the time. As she contemplated these phrases, she wondered if they had deeper connotations. Was it a heavenly message? Was it a gentle reminder that she walked with others? Another entry caught her eye. It described sudden, high-pitched ear ringing. This sound often signals an angel's entrance, according to the writer. It was smooth and melodic, not a shout or shock. Ringing was a gentle reminder to focus on a significant topic. Emily recalls hearing similar sounds during times of struggle or mistrust. In those days, she thought it was exhaustion or her mind making up stories. At that moment, she felt uncertain. As the story progressed, spectacular flashes and odd orbs in images appeared. Even though they were hidden, these were considered as signs of angels' constant watchfulness. The lines, "They are always closer than you think," were written beneath a bright orb floating by a tree in one striking picture. Emily looked at the scene, shivering. She remembered a family snapshot from years ago with a mystery orb in the backdrop, adding to the wonder. Her family laughed at the camera malfunction, but she wondered if it had a deeper message. Emily was especially drawn to the journal's essence. It was kind and inviting. Instead, it was welcoming and uplifting. Angels are compassionate guardians who help those in need, as the author wonderfully demonstrated. These signals were designed to elevate spirits, comfort, and gently remind us of our worth. This attitude resonated with Emily, who often felt unsettled. Emily's heart changed as she flipped the last pages. The journal gave her new thoughts and a spiritual awakening. She realized that life was full of great truths waiting to be discovered. A heart ready to listen and faith in the unseen was all it took. And maybe divine creatures were watching her, offering tiny reminders of their unconditional love and support. Emily put the journal aside and stared at the fire with astonishment. She stood at the doorway of the unknown, but one truth guided her. Each dawn brought fresh beginnings, and she welcomed them with open eyes and a willing heart. Emily, a young woman, lived in a quiet town in the woods. She was admired for her kindness and curiosity. She saw an old, battered diary under a pile of leaves as she strolled through the woodland. Time had cracked and worn the cover, while the yellowed pages whispered old stories. Emily gripped it in astonishment and took it home. Emily carefully opened the journal to discover its tales as evening fell and the hearth flames danced. She was surprised by its life. Her pages were full of handwritten notes, elaborate illustrations, and unfamiliar symbols. At the start of her voyage, a message whispered, "For those who seek wisdom, gaze deeper than the surface." Intrigued yet confused, Emily turned the pages eagerly. She saw feathers, bright lights, and strange feelings in her experiences. The scribe seemed to be trying to encapsulate the divine in a story that transcended Earth. The next morning, Emily felt transformed, as if a soft presence had watched over her all night. A calm messenger from the gods perched on the ledge caught her attention as she made her morning coffee. The night before, it was absent. Anticipation filled her heart. Could this be random? Could it be something more profound? She ran to the journal again, desperate to discover its mysteries. One narrative mentioned finding feathers in unexpected places, a divine communication from celestial creatures. A gloomy murmur made her tremble. Emily was working at her desk as the sun fell, when a piercing, high-pitched ringing broke the silence. It wasn't painful, but its presence was obvious. She froze, contemplating its implications. My thoughts were again interrupted by the journal. A wonderful chapter shows how angels communicated through sounds, especially the unexpected chime of ringing. It showed that these times were meant to comfort and guide. A whisper in Emily's heart suggested these events were woven into a heavenly tapestry. Strange incidents began as the days went on. Emily found something odd while browsing her stroll photos one evening. Many photographs showed beautifully hovering light spheres. They seemed deliberate, like they had a spirit. Shining spheres, considered to be angelic signs, were described in another diary entry. These gently reminded her of their constant watchfulness and care. Emily returned from the market on a brisk afternoon to find a deep warmth embracing her. The moment was brief, yet clear. She felt a soothing embrace, as if a warm and tender blanket had been placed around her shoulders, bringing peace amidst the storm. This impression matched a journal line about angelic creatures appearing as uncanny warmth. Every meeting reinforced her belief that she was never alone. The coins appeared. One coin was initially on the sidewalk outside her home door. The next day, she found a shiny coin in her car. She found a penny on her kitchen counter. She found these bits confusing until she looked back at the journal. According to legend, angels gave pennies as encouragement. They supported her and gave her hope despite life's uncertainty. Emily's life was changed by the visions. On a unique night, she had the most vivid dream of her life. She found herself on a vast meadow, lit by a warm, golden radiance. Wildflowers' lovely scent filled her breath on a warm day. She felt calm, as if all her worries had vanished. A man approached from the distance. It had a non-human essence but was not terrifying. It radiates love, generosity, and deep understanding. Emily saw others as the figure approached. Many others radiated a lovely brightness, their outlines swirling like sunlight on a peaceful stream. Despite their silence, Emily sensed their message in her heart. They told her she was never alone, but woven into a tapestry greater than herself. The apparition gently placed a hand on her shoulder. Emily felt a flood of strength and clarity that gave her purpose. She rose, tears streaming down her face, but her heart was calm. Dreams were revealed in the journal as a divine route for angel messages. While sleeping, they would tell stories of wisdom, solace, and insight to guide the heart and intellect. Emily was suddenly engulfed in a powerful relationship she had never expected. This was not merely a dream, but a supernatural revelation. She realized the universe was communicating with her in ways she didn't realize it. Each feather, light bulb, penny, and sound was woven into a heavenly tapestry. Together, they created a lovely heavenly dialogue, full of love and comfort. Emily learned to recognize and accept these symptoms as weeks passed. She wrote about their travels in the journal, adding her own thoughts. Curiosity turned into deep thankfulness. She discovered that life was full of whispers waiting to be heard. Each feather, light, warmth, currency, and dream reminded her of her love and protection. Emily eventually had to share the journal. She thought everyone should know its wisdom. She placed it gently on a park seat on a sunny morning, hoping someone might find it and feel the same connection she had. As she left, she smiled because she knew the divine mission had just begun. Over time, the townspeople shared their stories of perplexing signals. Feathers, orbs, and meaningful dreams were found. Though the journal's origins and fate were unknown, everyone agreed that the world was full of wonders waiting to be discovered. Angels may have watched over them from the start. As time progressed, Emily started to encounter unusual events. Every event unfolded with a unique dimension, constructing a tapestry of importance that deepened the journal's mystery. One night, Emily was perusing through her walk photos when she stumbled upon something that brought her to tears. Many photographs showed beautiful light spheres dancing in the air. She initially wondered if it was dust or light bouncing off the camera lens. As she approached, she saw that these were no ordinary reflections. Gentle light rippled from the orbs, like the universe's heartbeat. Some shined with gold, some with silver, and some with glorious blue and green. They appeared amid the robust trees, above the gentle streams, and even, surprisingly, above her head, in an accidental selfie she took without thinking. Emily jumped with anticipation. Her hands trembled as she turned the journal pages. One eyewitness described seeing brilliant flashes or orbs, considered to be angelic signs. These lights, the storyteller said, were gentle reminders that angelic creatures were always monitoring, guiding, and protecting you. The article shows that such events often occur during trials or when people face important decisions, a touching reminder that they were not forgotten. The orbs were not the only light-dancing wonders. A few nights later, Emily was startled by the stillness. She felt a stirring in her spirit, in her dark room, as if ethereal lights were playfully weaving their way over the walls, whispering secrets. She initially thought it was moonlight streaming through her curtains, but the motion was too deliberate and elegant. The lights moved and twirled, creating a tapestry of patterns that looked intentional. They appeared to be stars, flashing in the sky one moment, and wings unfurling majestically the next. Emily remained still, holding her breath. Though she wanted to grab her phone and capture the event, fear or awe kept her still. Emily reclined again, her thoughts churning like a storm as the final glimmer of light faded. This really happened. Did she imagine it? Could it have been another divine message from the angelic hosts? The diary cautioned her that certain indications would test her worldview. It required her to trust her inner voice and accept the unknown. She carefully unraveled the facts she had witnessed. It was no coincidence that orbs appeared in her images and her bedroom lights danced. The vast tapestry, a sacred language, sent a significant message. Emily felt compelled to investigate her notion as morning broke. Headed back to the forest, where the diary had first disclosed its secrets, she searched for additional traces of the mysterious lights dancing among the trees. With her camera, she went farther into the woods than ever before. In that moment, the air was fresh, and sunshine streamed through the canopy, lighting the world below. She traveled with a profound calm, as if a guiding force was guiding her to a destiny. She arrived in a clearing, new to her, after what felt like an hour. An ancient oak tree with twisted branches stood in the middle of the land. The atmosphere was reverent. Emily began recording the events with a delicate camera raise. She gasped when she saw them. She saw many brilliant orbs dance around the tree, better than ever before. Some lingered near the tree, while others in elegant spirals disappeared into the lush leaves. A sphere of enormous size and brilliance gently suspended before her lens, as if a divine subject awaiting illumination. Emily stared at the images, her pulse racing and tears forming. It was clear. The lights shimmered to communicate with her heart. After going home, she diligently explored the journal for truths. One passage stood out. Angelic lights are not merely signs of presence. They bear messages crafted specifically for your soul. Listen to your emotions. Do you find comfort, awakened, a trial? Emily reflected on her journey and how these feelings guide her to understanding their purpose. Her images of glowing orbs awed her. Wonder and awe filled her heart as her room lights twinkled. What about those around the ancient oak? They gave her a sense of belonging and connected her to something greater. Emily saw glimmers of light in spiderweb-clinging raindrops, winter morning frost, and streetlights dancing on wet pavement as the days went on. She realized that spiritual messengers talked about delicate elegance in daily life as much as magnificent spectacles. Every glimpse of light reminded me to stay present and appreciate the everyday wonders. Emily changed after these meetings. She abandoned her worries of the unknown and embraced it. The revelation gave her a new perspective on the world, to look deeper and trust the hidden powers guiding her. She didn't need all the answers. In uncertain times, faith alone can help. Emily was comforted by a great warmth as she returned from the market on a brisk afternoon. The moment was brief, yet clear. She felt a soothing, warm blanket wrapped around her shoulders, comforting her in the midst of the furious wind. The journal passage, "Celestial creatures sometimes present themselves through unexplainable warmth," matched this emotion. Her belief deepened with each encounter, revealing that she was never alone. Emily initially wondered if her mind was creating fantasies that were misguiding her. How could warmth come from the cold when the air around her was chilly? With determination, she ignored her fears and focused on her groceries. It happened again. She felt a soothing warmth flowing from her heart and expanding outward, as if it wanted to embrace her whole being. It resonated with her heart, like a calm voice comforting her soul, not just her body. "You are protected," it whispered. "You're loved." Emily hesitated, scanning the area for people. The street was silent, save for the whispering leaves and distant vehicles. She felt calm and comforted as the feeling remained. Her mind returned to the journal quickly. One text described how heavenly entities often communicated through warmth, especially in times of uncertainty or dread. Their kind comfort was a deep reminder that they were always there, even in life's challenges. Emily sat by the fire, thinking over the events of the night. Could it be? Could angelic creatures be reaching out to her with such intensity? She opened the journal again and turned to the worn pages. The writer revealed that these instances were significant. When someone needed encouragement or guidance, such moments formed a mild push to keep going. Dear friends, the journal urges you to notice these sensations, since they may convey angel messages. Emily was curious and decided to investigate the theory. Over the course of the next few days, Emily became more aware of her surroundings as she experienced that peculiar feeling. A relaxing feeling returned to her chest one evening while making a crucial employment decision. Clarity overcame her. Her debated decision wasn't as complicated as she believed. She imagined the warmth was guiding her. She also felt it during a dispute with her best buddy. Their minor fight forced Emily to apologize. She inhaled slowly, softened her tone, and admitted her error. Her friend looked relieved as she hugged. Later, Emily asked whether she should let go of her pride and emphasize their friendship. Emily kept a diary of warmth throughout weeks and months. She noted the time, place, and circumstances. Patterns appeared. Warmth often appeared during times of uncertainty or emotional hardship, like a divine omen that everything would be okay. It also included small victories, like a promotion, finishing a tough project, or seeing an old friend. She thought angels celebrated with her. One stormy night may have been the most significant. Emily stayed up worrying for hours. Her life had been hard lately, and she felt overwhelmed. While crying, she felt warm. It surrounded her completely this time, softening the room. Emily acknowledged that she wasn't alone with her problems. Something shielded and comforted her. Emily was determined to get up the next morning. The warmth was a gift, not a sign, she realized. It served as a testament to the existence of light, even in the midst of darkness. She was guided despite being lost. Most importantly, she was never alone. Since then, she assumed every warm moment was a heavenly message to develop, heal, and love. Emily was a young woman from a tiny woods village. Her friendliness and inquiry were famous. While walking through the forest, she spotted a faded journal half buried in leaves. Old papers yellowed, cover damaged. Wondering, Emily took it home. At night, Emily opened her journal by the fireplace. She was astonished it wasn't empty. Scribbled notes, doodling, and strange symbols were on the pages. First note: for those who seek guidance, look beyond what you see. Emily was bewildered, yet fascinated, and started reading. Feathers, lights, and strange feelings returned. It seems the writer was recording something supernatural. Emily felt watched the next morning. She observed a white feather on her windowsill while making coffee. The night before, it was gone. Her heart jumped. A coincidence? Something more? She hurriedly grabbed the journal. One entry suggested feathers in unusual locations as angel indications, as expected. A chill ran down her spine. Later that day, Emily's ears rang with high-pitched noises at her workstation. Though not bad, it was evident. That bewildered her, so she froze. I recalled the journal. The chapter showed angels interacting with unexpected ringing. It said such experiences comforted and directed. Emily was convinced these events were related. Days brought more oddities. Emily discovered something weird while browsing her walk photos one night. Many photographs showed tiny glowing orbs. They appeared alive and deliberate, not dusty. Flashes or orbs were angel indications in another diary post. These proved they monitored her constantly. Emily felt cozy while walking home from the market one chilly afternoon. It was concise and clear. Even in the wind, she felt like someone had wrapped her in a blanket. Angels occasionally appeared as unexplained warmth, the journal reported. All events increased her sense of belonging. The coins followed. One dime on the pavement at her front door started it. She found a penny in her car the next day. A dime was on her kitchen counter. Nothing made sense until she read the journal. The report stated that angels provided coins to encourage her. They supported her and promoted optimism amid uncertain times. The coins were significant. Emily recognized patterns. Coins came almost miraculously when she doubted herself or had to make painful decisions. A quarter appeared on her dashboard after a rough job interview. The employment offer came the same week. A bright penny was found in a book she was reading after a heated argument with a close friend. After the day, she saw her pal. Emily recorded these incidents. Every coin she found went in a little jar on her desk. The jar was filled with pennies, representing times she felt directed or encouraged. She didn't just gather the coins, but also analyze their significance. Some days she sat at the window with a coin, contemplating her victories. She sometimes told others about pennies to make them notice basic things. Coins may offer more than encouragement, the publication noted. It suggested denominations have meaning. Pennies symbolized new beginnings. Nickels represented change. Quarters signified wealth. Dimes, divine protection. The coins Emily found were interpreted, knowing this. She perceived a penny during financial hardship as a sign of protection and brighter times. Finding a nickel in a photography class, a pastime she had overlooked, spurred her to explore new things. Emily took these occurrences personally. Find coins, but also consider timing and context. Every coin came at the proper time, comforting or motivating her. She gradually recognized these as signals to guide her. Emily organized her money one rainy afternoon and pondered how the journal had changed her life. She felt found, but she felt linked to the planet, others, and something higher. The coins symbolized persistence, faith, and the invisible forces that shaped her adventures. Emily donated the journal, hoping it might be useful, but she preserved the pennies as a remembrance of her lessons. She smiled at the jar sometimes, knowing the angel's task was far from done. Emily was a young woman from a tiny woods village. Her friendliness and inquiry were famous. While walking through the forest, she spotted a faded journal half buried in leaves. Old papers yellowed, cover damaged. Wondering, Emily took it home. At night, Emily opened her journal by the fireplace. She was astonished it wasn't empty. Scribbled notes, doodling, and strange symbols were on the pages. First note: for those who seek guidance, look beyond what you see. Emily was bewildered, yet fascinated, and started reading. Feathers, lights, and strange feelings returned. It seems the writer was recording something supernatural. Emily felt watched the next morning. She observed a white feather on her windowsill while making coffee. The night before, it was gone. Her heart jumped. A coincidence? Something more? She hurriedly grabbed the journal. One entry suggested feathers in unusual locations as angel indications, as expected. A chill ran down her spine. Later that day, Emily's ears rang with high-pitched noises at her workstation. Though not bad, it was evident. That bewildered her, so she froze. I recalled the journal. The chapter showed angels interacting with unexpected ringing. It said such experiences comforted and directed. Emily was convinced these events were related. Days brought more oddities. Emily discovered something weird while browsing her walk photos one night. Many photographs showed tiny glowing orbs. They appeared alive and deliberate, not dusty. Flashes or orbs were angel indications in another diary post. These proved they monitored her constantly. Emily felt cozy while walking home from the market one chilly afternoon. It was concise and clear. Even in the wind, she felt like someone had wrapped her in a blanket. Angels occasionally appeared as unexplained warmth, the journal reported. All events increased her sense of belonging. The coins followed. One dime on the pavement at her front door started it. She found a penny in her car the next day. A dime was on her kitchen counter. Nothing made sense until she read the journal. The report stated that angels provided coins to encourage her. They supported her and promoted optimism amid uncertain times. Later, dreams were most profound. Emily slept after a long day. Golden light illuminated a vast grassland. Warm wildflower air filled her lungs. She admired her surroundings. She then saw a figure approaching. Though non-human, it wasn't intimidating. It radiated serenity and love, making Emily cry. The ghost stopped and extended its hand a few feet away. It was touched by Emily immediately. Peace, reassurance, clarity, and a deep sense of belonging flooded her heart. Without words, she knew everything. She understood she had been looking for solutions within herself. Nodding gently, the figure disappeared into the light. A weeping Emily woke up. Why her heart was full was beyond her. She retrieved the journal and read. She noticed, the subconscious mind is open to messages, so angels speak through dreams. Vivid, symbolic dreams advise, comfort, and illuminate. Everything fit. Emily carefully recorded her dreams in the weeks that followed. Some were basic, some meaningful. Her dreams saw her standing on a cliff, terrified to move. Her back was supported by hands, giving her the courage to jump. After waking up, she understood it represented a real-life dilemma she was facing. She made a positive decision, with confidence. A second dream saw her roaming a gloomy forest, with dim light. The path grew clearer as she followed the light. Finally, she found a sunlit clearing. This dream taught her to trust her intuition and keep going in uncertain times. Nighttime transformed Emily's outlook. She accepted the unknown, realizing she was never alone. She found power and wisdom in her dreams. Her close pals were amazed by her newfound purpose and calm. Emily recognized her dreams were meant to inspire. Her stories helped individuals feel less alone in their problems. Her statements were meant to remind others that angels, or whatever higher power they believed in, were always available to help them. After years, Emily's essays moved many. Her correspondence reported strange dreams and spiritual guidance. A personal excursion became a reminder that we are all connected, supported, and loved in ways we may not understand. Emily considered information her biggest asset. As we've investigated these 7 angelic presence signals, I've been impressed by our connection to the invisible. Growing up, I dismissed such ideas as chance or wishful thinking. However, I've found that believing in a guiding force, angels, the universe, or love in strange ways, is comforting. These signs remind us we're not alone, even when life feels overwhelming or unpredictable. They gently remind me to stop, breathe, and trust the process. This discussion should inspire awe, not prove angels exist. Life is enhanced by small miracles, like a feather in the breeze, an unexplained warmth at a cold moment, or a beautiful dream that lasts. These interactions remind us to trust our intuition and listen to the universe. We appreciate big gestures and small interactions. My challenge: focus. Unexpected money, bursts of light, and powerful dreams are worth noticing. Ask questions, talk to people with diverse views, and uncover what resonates. Curiosity and gratitude for life's mysteries are powerful, regardless of angels. This is your chance to uncover magic in the everyday and connect with the world